Hi, I'm Tom Murphy, and I'm your teacher for learning how to program with Alice. It's a beginning programming language. This is what the book looks like. And if we look at chapter 1, first page, pretty good overview of the different skills you're going to learn. If you get through chapter 1, when you get through chapter 1, come back and look at this and make sure that you know all those things. And if you don't, go to Piazza and we can talk, or read the chapter again, or probably a bunch of other stuff. But for right now, it's 11:26 my time. I'm fuddled in my head because I'm still half sick. We'll figure things out as we go. Page 2, page 3, page 4. First section has a lot of good text on the area of programming and what it means to be a program, what it means to be a programmer. I will be testing you on some of these things ultimately on the final, some of the vocabulary. But in the meantime, it's good to read this now, and again, as you go through the semester. And the book is oriented with a series of tutorials. The tutorials are pretty good. And what I'm going to do now is walk you through some of the tutorial material with a video, which I always think helps. So, when Alice comes up, you get a screen like this. Here in the center is a place where you can choose lots of the things that Alice has available for you. And we'll go through those in a second. I'm going to cancel out of this. If for some reason you don't have this up on your version of Alice, you can always come over to the File menu and go to Open World, and you're back at this exact same window. And let's go through it. If you click the tutorial, there's 4 different tutorials. You can click on any tutorial that you want in any sequence you want, or you just can click here on Start the Tutorial, and it'll go through them in sequence. Recent Worlds is going to list some of the recent worlds that you looked at. The one that I'm going to look at tonight, is lakeSkater, which is the one that's showing up here because I already went through and made sure that it worked before I was going to start taping it. Templates. This gives you the base world when you're making your own 3D world. And the Alice's worlds are a lot like what a Pixar programmer would do. Pixar programmers have a 3D world they create, and we just get a 2D image of it, a movie. And the same thing will happen in your Alice world. You'll have different characters you can put in. You can program the characters. You can move a camera around to have different camera angles. And then as you play the world, basically the camera sees what it sees, and you can actually make a movie that you could post to something like YouTube or show your friends if you were so inclined. So there's a dirt world, grass world, sand world, water world, space world, and snow world. That would be the basis for some story you might want to tell based on one of those starting areas. Examples are some of the different worlds that the Alice creators put together for people who are learning Alice, and they demonstrate a lot of the cool things that you can do with Alice. We're going to look at lakeSkater tonight, and we'll look at some of the other ones later, and the book will guide you through those in the tutorials. And then finally you have Open a World. If you save some of your worlds, like this starts off on the desktop, and for me right now, none of those are Alice worlds, they're just some Steam games that I have. But eventually, Alice worlds will show up there as we save them by going through the tutorials. So let's go back to the examples, and let's click here on lakeSkater. And I click lakeSkater. It's loading the world. And Shazam! The world's loaded. Let's talk through some of the areas that are up here. This is basically a tree of the world. And the reason they use the word tree is that you start off in very broad details. Like up here, the top button says the world. Inside of the world is camera, light, ice skater, cube, lake, sign, and Fisher box. I mean, that would be like saying you have a Navajo Nation and you have chapter houses inside of the Navajo Nation. Inside of a chapter house are the families that are part of the chapter house, people in the families. You can keep drilling down. So like in this one, you can see over to the side of Ice Skater, there's a plus sign. That means if you click on the plus sign, you can see that the Ice Skater is made up of a left thigh, clothes, abs, and a right thigh. And the left thigh is a plus sign again, so we can drill down into that. Left thigh is has a calf, left calf, and there's a left foot. So that's this window. Now, if we click on any of these things, notice that down below we see details that go with that thing. Like if I click on camera, now we see all the camera details. And it basically lists a bunch of the things that you can do with a camera. Alice is a drag and drop world, so we'll be able to drag things from the detail side into the program side to create an Alice program. The next one over here from the world tree is the window where you can actually see the Alice world in play. And you can see down in the lower corner there's an Add Objects. That's the button you're going to use to be able to add new things into the world. You have 3 buttons here to change your location and orientation of your camera in that world from when you first start out. In the upper left corner up here, there's a play. We'll click play a little bit later, and it's going to basically play the program that's here, and you'll see what the Ice Skater program is. The largest window down here is the window where it actually has the programmer. And you can see here, this is the world first animation. It starts off, wait a second, it changes where the camera is, it waits a second, does something with the camera, and it goes on. And the scroll bar over here allows you to look in and see exactly what this first program is. The window right above here, the smaller window, is called an event window. That's where if things happen in Alice, like for the example here, if she was to fall through the ice, you could make a splash happen. Or if you were making a game, you'd have the events tied into key presses. When you press a key, it would create some of the code in the Alice program to run. So Alice behaves like a movie that you just watch. You can have it that way, where there's basically no keyboard events or any other events that'll change things, or you can basically make games out of it where you do have it listen to keystrokes and interact with the Alice program that's running. So let's put this into execution. Here's the play button in the upper corner, and watch when we hit play. We have a little window down here where we can have a speed bar that'll speed it up if we choose to. We can pause it. I just paused it now. I can go back and continue it playing. If I hit restart, it obviously goes back to the beginning and restarts. Stop. It completely stops the whole thing. I'm going to go back and play it again. And finally, take picture would take a screenshot. And this captured it to my desktop. Capture 00.jpg. And you can do that with your the worlds that you create. You can make both a movie of it and an individual snapshots. So you can see the Ice Skater twirling around, doing cool stuff, and it's not a really complicated program for the Ice Skater. There's interesting backdrop, 3D backdrop, with the hill and some trees. And there's a camera move that's going on there. The camera's moving around. You can do that. You'll learn that later on. Character looks at you, tilts the head, and winks. Such a deal. And that's the Ice Skater. And I will restart and speed it up full. So this is full speed. And it turns out there's ways to make it go even faster, but that's pretty quick. That ran through the whole thing 10 times fast. That's enough for now. I will go through and do some more of the tutorials later. But this is going to be a test of getting this up on WebCT, see if I can still do that, and stitch it in so that you can see it. And what I'd like you to do, and I'll put it up formally on WebCT, is on page... On page 27 is exercise 1. And this one has nothing to do with programming. It's basically having you go through and playing with an algorithm. An algorithm is a series of steps. understanding the various aspects of making a list of commands in real life is going to help you for making a list of commands telling the computer what to do. And problem 3 is another one I'd like you to play with. That's going to help you create an open world that comes from tutorial C, which we'll see later, and it's going to have you extend it a little bit to make some changes to an existing world. And that's really a solid way of doing things, is to take something that's working and modify it a little bit. That'll be a good start on actually playing with Alice. So I recommend you play with Alice in the labs. If you can't find it in the lab, please email me and I'll contact my friend at UNM and hopefully she can get it up in the lab. It was up in the lab a year ago, so it should still be there. You might need to ask somebody in the lab to help. Also, it's possible to load it up on a computer if you have a computer at home. And it's even better if you have it on a computer at home because you have full control over it. So, you can reach me via Piazza if you have questions. And there's also, you can email me at my email address for UNM. It's wolfmerp, M-U-R-P, couldn't have the H-Y, at unm.edu. So, over and out, and I'll try and do some more taping real soon. Take care.